Hey guys, it's Kat, and today I'm going to be talking about things I did as a first-time mom that I would not do again, or like I would do differently. Some of it might be something I would do with like if I ever have another baby, but some of it is like a first-time mom thing. So let's just go ahead and get into this. So the first thing is, I was planning on waiting to announce my pregnancy until after I'd gotten out of the first trimester for relatively obvious reasons. But then I ended up announcing it at 10 weeks, I'm pretty sure. I waited until I had an ultrasound done. So I did wait an okay amount of time. I didn't find out until I was like, I think almost 6 weeks pregnant. I don't think that I would announce it as early again, or I made it a little more public than I should have. I'd probably go about that just like differently, especially now that I'm doing like YouTube relatively consistently. I would just go about it differently. Like if I had already been doing YouTube, I probably would have announced it through that, maybe. I don't really know. But I just know I would have done it a little differently. I probably should have waited until I was out of my first trimester because I feel like I just would have been a little less stressed if I did. I don't know. The second thing is I wouldn't have found out the gender like I did. I'm probably going to do a story time on that, but basically I found out the gender in a not very like fun way, and I found out too soon, and like I did a cute gender reveal, I'll link it in the but it just wasn't like, I don't know, I'd go about it differently next time. Honestly, I originally didn't even want to find out the gender, so I think the next time around I probably just wouldn't. Or if I did, I maybe wouldn't tell people, or maybe I would just like, I just go about it differently and I wouldn't find out until like after the anatomy scan and everything, which usually happens around 20 weeks if you didn't know. And I found out, I think around 16 weeks from the like blood test thing. The third thing, and probably one of my biggest regrets, was posting her name when I did. I think 100% the next time I have a baby, if I have another baby, I would not tell the name until it's born. Because now looking back, like I was so back and forth on her name. I was never really content with it. And then like people got me stuff with her name on it. Luckily I ended up staying with the name that she has, but I only changed her middle name. But honestly, like everything happens for a reason, so like I believe that name is like her name. But if I wouldn't have announced it, it wouldn't have been her name. Like we kind of just got attached to the name. Because I kept calling her in, like everyone started calling her in. I feel like people were kind of wearing it down before she was even born. So like, I just wouldn't tell the name until the baby's born, and because I may not be content with the name. And like she looked, so the thing was, if I decided like, I would officially decide her name obviously when she's born. That's when we end up filling out the papers. Well, when she was born, she looked very Mexican, so I decided to continue on with the name that she had. But looking back, now that she like looks so much like me, I probably would not pick the same name. I probably would have gone with one of the other names. The next thing is, I wish I would have taken my like weekly bump pictures more uniformed. Like maybe wearing all white or all black or something. Wearing the same general type of clothing, so that way, and the same like background, like maybe up against a certain wall. So that way you can actually like completely see the difference, and doing like the same exact angles or angle, depending on how many you take. But that way, just like you can see the complete difference. I don't know if I'll even do like the weekly bump pictures the next time I have a kid, because I should have taken them like exactly on time. And now that like I already got the mom bod, unless my body goes back to like how it was before I had my daughter, I probably won't even really care too much about the weekly bump pictures, because it's just different with your first pregnancy and your second. Again, I didn't do the first ones the way I wish I would have, so it's not like they're gonna like look the same. And honestly, like, I just don't know that it really matters. Maybe I will. It really just depends on the timing, because with your first one, you don't have another one running around. With your second, you got one already running around while being pregnant. And I don't know, I can't imagine, because I don't have that situation. Like, I was so tired while pregnant, let alone being mom tired and pregnancy tired at the same time. I just wanted them to be more aesthetically pleasing than they were, I guess. Like, maybe if it was up against this wall and like, you know, a white outfit, I don't really know. But just to where you could like completely see the difference, the growth you can like kind of see it, but I always did different angles and was wearing different attire, and a lot of the times I did not do it on the exact weekly mark. So the next thing is I shouldn't have done my baby shower so early, and I shouldn't have combined my graduation party with my baby shower. I don't see a lot of people doing this anyways because, one, a lot of people having babies probably aren't about to graduate high school. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know how many teen pregnancies versus not teen pregnancies happen, or that they would happen to where you could have your baby shower and graduation party in one. I did it to try to like save time and money, but it honestly ended up being like not as good as I wanted it to. Like I had a lot of fun with it, but I just feel like it wasn't enough of a celebration for her or for me, like if that makes sense. Like for my graduation party, I feel like it should have been more of a celebration for like an accomplishment. Even if it's a minor accomplishment to some people, that's fine. It was an accomplishment for me because I graduated early. My school shut down mid-year and I still managed to like catch back up, and I was pregnant and like had a lot of issues with that stuff. So, and I was traveling back and forth. And then I also wanted would rather have like the baby shower separate, where I was just trying to make it easier on everyone else, and I shouldn't have done that. But hey, it's done and over with now. I shouldn't have done it so early, and I shouldn't have combined the two, but it's fine. The next thing is, I shouldn't have packed so much for the hospital. I'll link that video in the eye. Honestly, I'll hopefully link all of these, but I packed like way too much. I don't think it looked like that much, but I really just didn't need what I brought. Or I wish I would have like actually used what I brought. I just was in the gown the whole time. Like I didn't even change into any clothes of mine until we were about to leave, because, skip if you have a weak stomach, because I just kept bleeding through and I didn't want to mess up my clothes. So I was like, I might as well just use the nightgown. And what's weird is I feel like I didn't bleed like that bad. Like compared to how everyone else explained it, I feel like mine was like not that bad. But I have issues with bleeding through with my periods too, and I don't even have like super heavy periods. It's really weird. Maybe I just don't think it's like that bad because I'm used to it, but I should have just, like right after I had her, I should have slept on the couch they have instead of the hospital bed, because I did the last night we were there and I was so much more comfortable. And it was horrible, and that bed's just so uncomfortable. I take up a lot of space too in bed, so I feel like that's part of the problem. Like I'll see like couples like cuddling in bed while like the girl's in labor, and I'm like, I was so big, I took up that whole bed. I should have taken my nursing pillow to the hospital. That is something I really regret, because right after I had my daughter, I was so weak because I don't have a lot of strength, and when I got pregnant, throughout my pregnancy, I lost like all strength, and during labor, since I got the epidural, I had to use like my upper body, arm strength for everything. So then after, when I was trying to hold my almost 8-pound baby up to breastfeed, my arms were like shaking and I like couldn't handle it. It was horrible. Like that was worse than the latching and everything. I mean, that hurt too, but the arm like pain was like the worst part of that part. I feel like I should have unplugged from social media more than I did, but at the same time I should have like filmed more. I wanted to actually, I was like back and forth on if I was going to do a labor and delivery vlog, but now I regret not. I also regret not having pictures done, because the ones my mom got were horrible. I didn't get her first cry on video. All the things that I feel like I would definitely do differently next time around. I like also wish they wouldn't have had them hold my legs. I wish I would have put them on like the things, or had like the nurses do it, because first of all, there were two way different heights, and I kept dropping my leg, and like, I would have rather them just like stayed back, or at least my mom. I wish she would have stayed back and just like took pictures and stuff, because I can never get those moments back to take pictures. Like we can reenact it, but it's really not the same thing. I should have picked a different support system. I love my mom, I love Lee, but like, first of all, they slept the majority of the time I was in labor, which is fine, but like, I should have allowed someone that was like, I don't want to say more excited, but like, I should have allowed at least a close friend to come in too. But I just felt like so horrible. But now that I've already had a baby, like now I'm like, oh, I don't care if the whole world sees my vagina while birthing a baby. So next time around, I definitely have, I don't want to say more people there, because I wouldn't really let people know like who was there. and I would probably just decide on who I would allow to visit while there. It just depends on like the next time around how I'm feeling, but definitely need a different support system. We did the child birthing classes and everything, but I just feel like what I wanted out of a support system isn't exactly what I got. And I don't want to sound like ungrateful because I'm glad they were there, but like, I should have had like a friend, like I said, like not the two people who were already drained anyways. I should have been more open about when I was feeling like I needed to rest or when I was feeling drained about when people were visiting. And I should have like, as far as breastfeeding, you need a support system for that, and I felt like I just didn't really have it. I think a lot of the times that's why people have doulas, is because to have that support, like you just need that person sometimes, and it can be easier for them to not be so connected personally, maybe. I don't really know. One tip of advice with that, just have a good support system. Know what you want out of that support system and make sure they know what you're expecting of them, because that was something too. I like expected stuff, but I didn't like really say that I expected it. I should have been more weird about who I let touch her after she was born. Like still to this day, I don't really like, I'm kind of weird about people touching her. I'm fine with people holding her, but like, I don't like when like strangers touch her still, and she's almost like a year old. I shouldn't have worried about social media really at all. Like I should have waited till I got home to post about her being born, or at least like not the day of posting about it. I was just so excited, but at the same time, I kind of worried about how I portrayed myself, and like next time around with pregnancy and everything else, I have a feeling I probably won't even worry about it because I will have like a toddler, or you know, however old she is when I have another baby, if I have another baby. I kind of already said this, but I should have focused more on breastfeeding specifically and just like made it work, like pushed through it, and again, should have set up a better support system for that. It was kind of bad timing because what happened was I had to get up at like 4 a.m. and only had gone to sleep like late because I was so scared about being induced. So I got up at like 4 a.m. after running on a few hours of sleep that Thursday. Didn't have her until that Friday at like, I had her 1:55. And then obviously doing skin to skin and everything else. And then they, you know, weigh her and like do all the like different checks they do. So by the time, oh, and I got breakfast too. It was like, I was up for a long time because obviously I just had a baby and I did not want her to leave me. You know, because she had been attached to me for 9 months, and then like, they're like, oh, we need to take her here or whatever. And I was like, no. I almost had her dad follow because I was like, don't take my baby. But they were like, you really need to get some rest. So I think I started to rest, and that's when the lactation consultant came in, and that was a Friday, and she only works during the week, and she only works a few hours. So I think she came in, and I was like super exhausted, and it wasn't time to be breastfeeding yet, and then like when it did come time, I was just like really exhausted. I don't know, obviously like that's common, but I should have like been more educated on all of it ahead of time, and like I should have, again, pushed through on breastfeeding. And I should have brought a pump with me. I know they don't exactly recommend that, but like I have, watch my breastfeeding video, but I have like flat/inverted nipples, so it would have helped where she would at least get breast milk. But again, giving a baby a bottle immediately is probably not the best idea if you're wanting to try to make breastfeeding work. I do have a few like personal things like that I would do like the next time around, but it wasn't really an option / I didn't know it was an option. As far as the different pictures, like maternity and newborn pictures, not that I don't love the ones I got, I do, but I would go about it differently the next time around. Or if I wouldn't have like been in the situation I would do it different. It was just like the situation, that's how it worked out. But if it was a different situation, different circumstances, I would go about it a little differently. And that's all just personal preference. That isn't even anything I think I like did wrong or did right or whatever. I think I did a video on like the truth about having a baby, like the whole postpartum rundown and like things I wish I would have known before going into labor. Like I thought the staff were just more hands-on than they were, and I thought my midwife would be more hands-on, and like no, they just like show up when you're pushing. That's just the short version of it. I'll link that somewhere in the eye or below.
Another thing I wanted to add in is that I would probably bring a there's like swaddle blankets that there's like newborn sets and stuff, and I'd probably get one of them for the pictures instead of an actual outfit, because we put a nightgown on Mariana literally like day one after she was born, and it was such a pain, and I shouldn't have even brought clothes. I should have just left her stay in the hospital clothes, which I'm pretty sure I did most of the time besides that picture, but it was so difficult and scary to get on her, and yeah, I shouldn't have gone through that hassle. I'd probably just get a cute swaddle blanket to take the picture in next time for the announcement, or just do the announcement differently, who knows, but I just wouldn't go through that hassle again.
Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. This was my first time mom regrets / things I would do differently. If you agree with any of these or you have any regrets from being a parent or things like that, comment them below. What are some things you would do differently? Bye!